This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. The Office of the Ombudsman filed before the Sandigan Bayan the plunder case against Senator Rodante Marcolita and his co-accused over a 75 million pesos campaign donation to him. In the 20th of January 25, former Anacalasugan Representative Mike Defensor and certain Aristotle Vire and Joseph Espiritu allegedly donated 30 million pesos, 25 million pesos and 20 million pesos for Marcolita's senatorial bid. According to his counter-affidavit, Marcolita noted that the 75 million pesos donation was not public funds, even though the donated funds exceeded the 50 million pesos threshold for plunder under Republic Act 7080. State prosecutors also noted that the amount was not reflected in his statement of assets, liabilities and net worth as of the 30th of June, 2025. Instead, the complaint noted that Marcolita only declared P39.6 million in his SALN, which he said he acquired from 1992 to the 30th of June, 2025. The complaint said that Marcolita, in his the 20th of December 25 SALN, declared only cash and savings amounting to 16.7 million pesos. In his counter-affidavit, Marcolita said, "The donations were likewise not reflected in my statements of assets, liabilities and net worth because, by the time the SALNs were prepared and executed, the amounts had already been used for their intended election-related purposes and were no longer assets held by me." A casino dealer, a police officer, and a Malaysian businessman were arrested for allegedly conspiring to defraud a resort casino of 750,000 pesos through a poker scam in Pasay City on the 3rd of July. Pasay City Police Chief Colonel Joselito de Sesto identified the suspects as Larry, 39, a casino dealer at a resort casino in Pasay City, Chiho Wong, 41, a Malaysian businessman, and Ijado, 36, a police master sergeant assigned to the warrant section of the Santiana police station in Manila. According to De Sesto, the alleged fraud occurred at around 3:53 p.m. on the 2nd of July during an Ultimate Texas Hold'em game inside the casino. The scheme was discovered by management several hours later and reported to police at around 3 a.m. on the 3rd of July. Initial investigation showed that the dealer allegedly connived with 3 patrons to manipulate the outcome of the game. CCTV footage showed the dealer repeatedly exposing his hidden hole cards and community cards during the game, giving the players an unfair advantage. With inside information, the bettors allegedly predicted outcomes, adjusted their bets, and won about 750,000 pesos illegally from the casino. The irregularity was first detected by the casino's surveillance department through CCTV monitoring. The establishment's safety and security unit immediately coordinated with surveillance personnel before confronting the suspects and placing them under citizen's arrest. One alleged accomplice, however, managed to flee before security personnel could apprehend him. The arrested suspects were turned over to the Pasay City Police Investigation and Detective Management Section. They face charges for violation of Article 315, Paragraph 3b of the Revised Penal Code, or estafa through fraudulent practices. Authorities are continuing their investigation to identify and locate the remaining suspect and determine whether similar schemes had been carried out in previous gaming sessions. A police officer voluntarily surrendered on Thursday, admitting his involvement in the killing of a colleague in Zamboanga del Sur province. In a report on Friday, Police Colonel Bonifacio Arenas, Zamboanga del Sur Police Director, identified the police officer surrenderer as Staff Sergeant Archie Bazan, who was assigned to Margasa Tubig town in the same province. Arenas said Bazan voluntarily surrendered to the Margasa Tubig Municipal Police Station and admitted his participation in the shooting incident that resulted in the death of Police Corporal Armijo Anab Jornadal on Wednesday afternoon. Jornadal, 36, was riding a motorcycle on the way home when he was repeatedly shot by one of 2 men riding tandem on another motorcycle that was tailing him in Barangay Tiquas, Dumalinao, Zamboanga del Sur. Jornadal, a resident of Barangay Kalubi, San Miguel, was a member of the police's 2nd Zamboanga del Sur Provincial Mobile Force Company. In his statement, Bazan admitted that he served as the driver of the motorcycle used during the commission of the crime, Arenas said in his report. He said Bazan's voluntary statement was recorded in the police blotter and signed by the suspect. The shooter, identified as Sadie Tolentino Labajo, allegedly used Bazan's service firearm to kill the victim. Bazan also turned in his issued service firearm and the motorcycle they used in the incident. Police Captain Durf J. McQuinter, Zamboanga del Sur police information officer, said Bazin was forced to surrender after learning he was tagged as a person of interest and all evidence gathered in the investigation pointed to him. The evidence includes video footage captured through closed-circuit television cameras. The gunman, Labajo, was arrested in a follow-up operation at about 6 p.m. Thursday at his residence in Margasa Too Big, McQuinter said in a radio interview Friday. During the incident, the suspects took Jornadal's sling bag and service firearm and fled towards the town of Gipus, Zamboanga del Sur. Authorities learned that Jornadal had just processed a cash loan with the Armed Forces and Police Savings and Loans Association Inc. before the incident, based on a receipt found in the victim's motorcycle compartment. McQuinter said that Bazin knew Jornadal had applied for a loan because they were together while the papers were being processed. He noted that the victim's firearm was recovered, but the 200,000 pesos loaned to Jornadal was not found. A suspected gun-for-hire leader and former member of the Philippine Army Special Forces, listed as the number 3 most wanted person in Mimaropa, was arrested in an intelligence-driven operation in Roxas, Oriental Mindoro on Thursday. Toy was an alleged gun-for-hire leader operating in Mindoro and Batangas. Police said the suspect was the subject of 4 warrants of arrest for multiple counts of murder and frustrated murder issued by courts in Calapan City, Pinamalayan, and Roxas, Oriental Mindoro. All of the cases carry no bail recommended. Aside from the pending murder and frustrated murder cases, the suspect is expected to face an additional charge for alleged violation of Republic Act No. 10591, or the Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Regulation Act. A former police officer wanted for murder surrendered to the police regional office in Western Visayas early Sunday, the 5th of July, ending more than 3 years in hiding. The suspect, identified only by the alias Jerry, 40, of Arevalo district, Iloilo City, turned himself in at Camp Martin Teofilo Delgado in Fort San Pedro at around 12:45 am. Jerry surrendered to Police Brigadier General Randolph Tuano, acting director of PRO 6. He is the subject of a warrant of arrest for murder issued on the 26th of April, 2022, by the Regional Trial Court Branch 31 in Iloilo City. The court did not recommend bail. Authorities said the former police officer had previously evaded an attempt by the Integrity Monitoring and Enforcement Group to serve the warrant at Iloilo City Police Station 4. Upon surrendering, he also turned over his issued Taurus TS9 service pistol with a loaded magazine. He is now under the custody of the Iloilo City Police Station 1 for documentation and proper disposition. Tuano credited the peaceful surrender to sustained intelligence operations, close coordination among police units, and strengthened community trust. According to him, he decided to surrender because he wanted to finally face the case against him and put an end to the problem he has been dealing with. What is important is that we were able to peacefully implement the warrant of arrest and bring him before the court in accordance with the law, Tuano said in Filipino. The regional director said the incident demonstrated that effective law enforcement is achieved through intelligence-driven operations and coordination rather than force. He also urged other fugitives to voluntarily surrender and face the charges against them. If you have an outstanding warrant of arrest, my advice is to face your case. No one is above the law, but everyone has the opportunity to undergo the legal process peacefully and with respect for due process, Tuano said. A 44-year-old former policeman wanted for multiple murder and kidnapping was arrested on Sunday night, the 5th of July, in a beach resort in Barangay Bagang Silanghere. Police identified the suspect as Jun, a resident of Calapan City. Jun, the 4th most wanted person by the Police Regional Office 2, was apprehended on warrants dated the 3rd of September, 2023, issued by the Tuguegarao City, Cagayan Regional Trial Court Branch 3 for murder, 2 counts of frustrated murder, and attempted murder. The court recommended no bail for the murder case while bail was fixed at 200,000 pesos each for the 2 frustrated murder cases and 120,000 pesos for the attempted murder case. He was also arrested on a warrant from the Antipolo City, Rizal Regional Trial Court, Branch 142 for kidnapping with ransom. Jun is in the custody of the Calatagan Municipal Police Station while warrants are being prepared for return to the issuing courts. Former Ana Kalusugan Representative Mike Defensor was arrested by the Philippine National Police on Monday for plunder. Interior Secretary John Vic Ramilo announced that aside from the congressman, Police have also arrested businessman Joseph Espiritu. Defensor and Espiritu, both nabbed in Quezon City, are co-accused with Senator Rodante Marcolita in a non-bailable plunder case involving the alleged non-disclosure of 75 million pesos in campaign donations during the last elections. In a briefing, Ramila said Defensor and Espiritu were arrested while they were having coffee at a Starbucks branch in Quezon City. He added that the two are already being transported to the Sandiganbayan. The plunder case against Defensor was filed by the Office of the Ombudsman at the Sandiganbayan and raffled to the latter's 3rd Division on Friday morning. The case stemmed from a 75 million pesos donation Defensor made with donors Aristotle Vire and Espiritu to Marcolita when the latter was a congressman before his 2025 senatorial bid. Police arrested a village watchman in a buy-bust operation in Bakakay town in Albay on Tuesday night. The Albay police arrested a suspect identified only as Nolan at around 8:28 p.m. and seized 1.3 grams of shabu, crystal meth, worth 8,840 pesos. The suspect is a 47-year-old resident of Tabaco City. That's all for this week. I'll see you next Friday with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.